Hello, travelers. It's been a while.
Shut up!
I am... Shutting up. No, I'm not. This is Jeanette Entrepire here with my two lovely co-hosts.
Wow, co-hosts.
Oh, hi, I'm Gab. You can...
Hi, I'm SJ. I'm also here.
Wow. I guess I'm the only one who's doing full title. Alright, cool.
Everyone knows who we are.
Everybody knows who we are. And if you don't, get the hell out of here. But welcome to our end of the first season Q&A, our finale Q&A, if you will.
We've got questions from the server. Surprisingly, none of them from Twitter. All of them.
I don't think we got any questions from Twitter last time either.
Yeah, that's very fair. But yeah, all of them
they're scared by our corporate tweeting.
My concierge RP. All of our questions are from the new, freshly minted Reverse AU server, where
join the server. It's fun.
Very enthusiastic. Thank you, Gab.
No, we all. No, I meant that sincerely. Did not come through.
But yeah.
No, you sound absolutely so thrilled and overjoyed to be in the server.
So we have around, I don't know, a lot of them are for writing, acting, overall, and miscellaneous, and we'll try to tackle all of them. I'll be asking the questions. I will also answer them if I need to do it. I'll switch around on the questions just so we won't get tired doing all writing questions. So let's actually start with an overall one for everyone, and this is from Danny. What was the best part of working on season 1?
I think the best part for me was just how much we were able to grow our team and our community. I mean, because in the beginning, obviously, it was just SJ and I, and then we got Buttons on board, and then Gab and Taz, and then we were able to have a big enough following where we could start a Discord server where we can get questions and get feedback and see theories and have a place for fan art. I think that was definitely the most incredible and incredibly rewarding part of working on season 1. Yeah. It's having that our silly little AU snowball into something that has touched a lot of people. I think that's great.
For me, I guess in a similar vein, it's really fun to like work on something when you like the people you're working with, and it's always a fun time whenever I get to work on this AU because one, the story is really, I don't know, I like the story. It's really fun for me as someone who is sapphic and who likes mystery stories, and it's fun for me to play, and I like the people I'm playing with, and it was always really nice to like see everyone come together in the premiere and make stupid little jokes in the chat. Or like just yell at each other, or I yell at them because I can't read the script yet. It's really fun. That's the best part. It's the collaborating. I know I yelled at both of you. It's fine.
Yeah,
collaborating is fun. It's the best part.
Yeah, no, the best part for me on working on season 1 would probably be the amount of creativity that could come out of any kind of collaboration. It's just so It's a big concept that just has been following me per fandom for a while now, I guess. Because in my last one, I also rallied someone who doesn't really write regularly to write regularly. So, no, seriously, this is an actual thing that always happens when I enter a new fandom. I somehow wrangle someone into creating with me.
So glad it was me. Not joking. That was not sarcasm.
Can I just say, I'm not kidding when I say this is also what happened with Kevin and Harley.
Oh my, shut up!
I'm not kidding.
The parallelograms that you're trying to like put on us is really...
No, I'm not kidding, because I was listening to something earlier and they said the same thing. I'm just sitting here going, I feel like I've heard this like an hour earlier.
Just because I'm the spoilt little princeling and Eshe is the white man.
Hell!
I'm joking.
I think like part of the whole creative process of just being in a space with a bunch of people who have their own voice to put in on the work that you're doing is really cool. Like, even literally gathering everyone's voices and making it sound like we're all in the same room. It's just such a it's a new experience for me, because it's like the first time I've done literally any kind of voice work and editing any kind of voice work. So I guess the best part of like working on season 1 for me would be making season 1 with everyone. Sounds sappy.
We like working with each other.
Yeah.
We like working with each other. Surprise.
Surprise.
Surprise, indeed. As much as I love to threaten SJ with acts of violence,
So true.
it is very good working with them and also with our entire team. I'll never forget when we did the voice direction for Railbird's Gamble. Just Gab and I on call and me going like, you need to be sexier. And my roommates came in and I was just like, it's fine, don't worry about it.
It's perfect that you brought that up, because here's something that happened during that whole voice thing.
Oh,
That whole voice coach thing. Remember when I told
And
you
I'm
that
leaving.
Shut up, Gab.
no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Remember when I told you that Gab's audio corrupted?
Yes.
That was a lie.
I wasn't sure if you were asking for them. Wait, what?
So what happened was we were voice
What the hell are you
coaching.
talking about?
We were voice coaching Gab, and we were expecting Gab to record that during the voice coaching. And what Gab thought was happening was we were recording Gab while the voice coaching was.
way.
So when
I don't know how technology works.
Oh my god.
so time for
Okay, Juno.
yeah, so when time for splicing the audio came in, you were like, okay, I think I've got all of my audio done. And I was like, okay, so I'll just go ask Gab. And then I went into Gab's DMs, and Gab was like, wait, wait, I was supposed to record.
So you guys lied to me? You straight up lied to my face?
No,
Jay said,
it would have been the same thing anyway.
It would have been perfectly okay if you had just said, hey, I thought you were recording, not me. And I would have been like, oh.
listen, Jeanette.
I was
Jeanette,
protecting
I was not
Gab's-
the person who.
I was protecting Gab's dignity.
SJ was
here.
the one who said, let's
No,
wait
of
until
course
the question and answer.
SJ
And
was.
that's when you.
No, of course.
That's
No,
when you
I don't know
told
I
Jeanette.
expected anything else. Oh my
I was
goodness
protecting
gracious Lord.
And we've been
Right.
keeping
I
this
have no
under.
dignity left.
Yeah, we've been keeping this under wraps since
panicked.
before.
Because by accident.
Oh my
Because I was gonna tell Taz, and then SJ was like, no, don't tell Taz. Because he might tell Jeans. And I was like,
I feel like my own tricks have been played upon me. You've utilized
mutiny.
my dark secret and play. I mean, obviously, this is not the same degree as let's
April
keep it a
Fools.
secret that SJ has,
Exactly.
completely caught up to. So I guess I can't be that mad. But God, that is actually so funny.
No,
Wow.
we actually did plan it for it to come out during the Q&A, so it's just amazing timing that you actually brought it up yourself. I was like, how
Oh
do I
my
insert
God.
this?
my
Hold on.
defense, I am very stupid. Okay, go on.
Okay.
Yeah, Nicholas B. Mercury. You want to tell us about that? But
So-
anyway.
This was from Taz. What was your favorite line to either write or deliver from either Railbird's Gamble or Final Displays? Let's add 3M3M to that, because Gab was also a new addition to 3M3M.
Yes. I'll let Gab go first. I'm curious.
Okay, for Railbird's Gamble, I think it really was the. No, weirdly enough, it was the bathroom thing, even though I retook that. Because it's just such a bitchy. I can swear, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you may
It's
curse.
such a like bitch line. It's really fun to do. But also the start of when they board the Utgard Express, that's always really fun. For Murder's Mask, I think just being a fruit was fun. More than like one single delivery. Just like the whole of it, it was really fun. Like trying to like get the back and forth and make it sound like I was talking to Jeanette in real time was really fun to figure out.
It's really difficult for me to pick a favorite line because
You talk all the time.
there's so many. But I guess I'll go with Final Resting Place because we didn't talk about that in the last Q&A.
Mhm.
I wanna say that one of my favorite lines to do, I'll do one for Buddy and also for Vespa. I really liked, well, actually, I think they're in the same part. So for Vespa, the way that I delivered the end monologue, obviously is a series of landmines, but just, I don't know, when I go, med school, the force, private investigating, and then there's that pause, and the night to be just us line, like, I don't know what possessed me to say it like that, but I think that's one of my favorite vulnerable Vespa deliveries.
What was in your water, Jeanette?
I was drinking Snapple, so...
What was in your Snapple, then?
I don't know.
Fruitification beam.
Fruitification beam, literally peach Snapple, so, And then I do think there was a comment on Act 3 of Final Resting Place, specifically on Buddy's line, well, that can wait for one night, can it? In which SJ wrote, I want it to be like a blushing little maiden, or something like that. So I did do kind of like a weird body position when I delivered it, where I was kind of like, that's date for what? That kind of like, ooh, like, I'm blushing or whatever. So I think those are probably my two from Final Resting Place. I'm also probably forgetting something, but...
Because fun fact, I was not allowed to read the script until like 10 minutes before we did the live read. I was just seeing everyone go, oh my god, the reverse AU Final Resting Place script. I'm like, well, I wouldn't know, because I'm not allowed to look at it.
Yes, grumpy Tom and Jerry cat gif.
Yes,
Insert it here.
What would be mine for real Final Resting Place? Christ, I don't... I die in Final Resting Place, that was fun. I die multiple times. Not my favorite line. Jeanette's favorite line is from Retrospective.
Jeanette, do the favorite line. Do the favorite line.
Valencia, clean this up. It just gets, just the way you delivered it is so funny.
Thank you. No, I don't think I had a favorite line for Railroad's Gamble or Final Resting Place. As either Miasma or Angstrom.
Okay, what was the most fun then?
I think the most fun was like outro Miasma for Railroad's Gamble. Because I got to be bitchy. Twice! Because that was a re-recorded line. No, I had to re-record it because I sounded too close to the mic. And I'm a perfectionist at heart. And the lines that you actually hear at the end of Railbird's Gamble Part 2 from Miasma were taken while it was raining outside, so if there's a bit of an echo to it, that's why. Here's one from your bro Julian. How do y'all stay in character and keep yourself consistent in terms of character acting? Jeanette's got this one easy.
Jeanette, you go first.
God. Well, I kind of just stay in the voice no matter what. Mm-hmm. So even if I feel like I'm losing it, I will just like recite one of the character's lines over and over again, which you've probably heard multiple times. Hi, dogs. Yeah. You've probably heard multiple times in the bloopers. Especially with Buddy, it'll just be like, if I feel like I'm slipping out of the voice, I'll be like, "Ooh, Buddy Ringo, Buddy Ringo, ding, ding, ding," a noise that goes completely through me, which is probably the most iconic of my bloopers.
No,
but Vespa,
Zonkers.
Well, maybe not Zonkers. Well, I do think that it helps me that the voices are so removed from my own. It helps me to stay in character if I just stay in the voice. Mm-hmm. So
this is a interesting one for me because I've played both Vespa and all the villain ladies and also McMercury, which sounds weird when you say them all out loud. I guess I just, in my brain, I'm chanting, don't fuck this up, because if you fuck this up, we're gonna have to do it again. You're gonna have to do it again, and you have to and I just try to hold the emotion that I'm supposed to have in my brain and keep it there and just be like, try to remember what my voice sounds like when I'm angry or when I'm happy, and try to like put that in there, because I have unfortunately listened to my voice a lot because of school, so I know what that sounds like when I'm happy or angry or sad, and that's what I try to like put in.
I mean, I saw
Yeah.
you. I saw you listening to a lot of McMercury episodes before the recording for Jet Minute. Was that practice, or were you just like listening to it for fun?
Hey, oh wow, okay, call me out then. All right.
Literally, I'm asking.
No, it was because I was like, I want to get Stefano Purdy's like pronunciation, because he says things differently, because all the different characters I've played have like very specific ways of talking that I'm like, sometimes I feel like I need to go back and just re-listen and just be like, how do they say things? Because the speaking pattern is different.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, Vespa says things weird.
Vespa says things very weird. I do also. That's interesting that you say that, because I find that I've invented a way that a character speaks in my head, so that when I actually do go back and listen to an episode, I'm like, well, I wouldn't have delivered it that way.
Oh, amazing! I love that.
Cause arthritis.
Oh my.
Oh
I'll
gosh.
kill you. But it does also help me to like go back and listen to the actual thing, because then I can adjust that perception in my head of, oh, actually I'd probably do it a little more like this, so maybe I should deliver this like that, and blah 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 blah.
Wow.
Definitely when I did Vespa for the live read, I was like, oh god, how do I do Vespa in front of a live audience?
In front of Jeanette.
How does Vespa...
Stop.
Yeah, no, exactly, in front of Jeanette. And also just like when y'all asked me to do Mick, I was like, I don't know how Mick sounds like.
Yes,
even
you
though I
do.
had listened. Yes, I know, but I was like, my brain is like, how do you sound like
Suddenly
Mick
brain
Mercury?
empty.
Oh.
I don't know who he is.
Suddenly I don't know a Mick Mercury.
Well, I technically already answered this one in the last Q&A, but for the sake of fairness, I don't stay in character. I am always acting. No,
Oh my God.
I mean, because when I did cast, I was always just like, I just talk like that. With Cecil crying, it was just me crying. For Engstrom, it was a lot of bloopers. It was 8 minutes full of bloopers. But, I do have the tendency to pick up accents when I've listened to something for too long. There was this one period in 2016 after listening to all of the Raven Cycle audiobooks,
Yup.
where I just developed a Virginian accent for like out of the blue. I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't know what's going on. Thank you. So
Thanks, I hate it.
yeah, thanks. I hate it. So after being in the Good Omens fandom
Oh god.
yeah, no, after being in the Good Omens fandom for most of like 2019, I just knew how they talked, and that's how I shot. Like I just put that into Engstrom.
That weirdly tracks the amount of people I know who've developed like the ability to do that after watching Good Omens. or something. I don't know what it is about that show.
Yeah, you would think maybe it's because both Michael Sheen and David Tennant are putting on British accents.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah,
you
because
pick up
it
the
might
way
be
they do it.
Mine,
David Tennant especially, just because I'm used to it because of Doctor Who.
it doesn't really sound like a British accent, but it sounded like an Engstrom, so I think it worked. Miasma, stop. Miasma. I mean, I demonstrated it during the actual bloopers. I was just like, I have to do this kind of voice the whole time.
Yeah, it's very vocal fry.
And I made her sound bored.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. I had a stint as Miasma back in the day because
Yes.
Kate Jones lives in my
Brain.
clavicle. And it's very much just you want to get really down into the vocal fry and then kind of get that nasal a little bit and just Juno Steel. You know?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, she would totally be so good in a punk rock screamo band.
Kate
No,
Jones.
that tracks.
Kate Jones, hit me
Brimstone
up.
Valley Mall when?
Help.
Ooh.
Well, we're getting off track.
They're taking us off track, but all three of them.
Stop! Okay,
Anyway.
here's a random question. Do you guys listen to other podcasts beside Penumbra?
Well,
This is from Sydney. Thank you.
appropriate coming from Brimstone Valley Mall. Gab, if you'd like to elaborate.
Gab has a lot.
I listen to a lot of them. Just because I'm an art student and I don't like working in silence because I will fall asleep. So off the top of my head, my faves are obviously Brimstone Valley Mall, Caravan, Bright Sessions, Starship, Strange Case of Starship Iris. I just finished EOS 10 and that was also good. I might start Wolf 359, but everyone's saying yes and no, and I'm getting mixed answers on that.
No.
But yeah, I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot.
Yeah.
And Jeanette and I listen to like one in common, which I think is Spirits, which is very funny.
I love Spirits. The subtitle is A Drunken Guide to Myths and Legends, I believe. Sorry if I'm misquoting that, Amanda McLaughlin and Julia Schaffini.
And Schaffini
But
and Eric Silver.
It's very cute, just these two best friends. They have themed cocktails and they talked about different folklore from different episodes. Actually, that's where I first got familiar with a lot of Filipino mythology because they had that the Manananggal episode, and I was like, oh my god, this is so epic. But other than Spirits, I really only listened to Mabel.
I also forgot that. But yeah.
Love Mabel. Yeah. I did start Old Gods of Appalachia like 2 years ago, but haven't finished it.
Yeah.
Not to its detriment, I just haven't really picked it up. I do so much work doing things for podcasts and audio dramas that I find that I have become completely exhausted listening to podcasts and audio dramas. So I probably will only really be listening to Penumbra, and hopefully when the new season of Mabel comes out sometime soon, I will be listening to that as well. But yeah, I did used to listen to a lot of the Adventure Zone, but I didn't listen to Graduation because, need I say more? The spark has died for me for like fantasy D&D, because I also play so much D&D that like I can barely listen about it anymore. I'm just like, oh my god, roll for initiative, I'll kill you. But yeah, what about you, SJ?
Well, I have listened to BVM thrice now. It's something to listen.
How could I forget Caravan too? Sorry.
Of course. I'm thinking of starting that one. There's this one that I listened to many moons ago. It was literally just a podcast of this guy's book. He's just like, he's posting the audiobooks like for free every 2 weeks, and I'm like, bro, thanks. And I finished the first book and I never got back to it. I listened to a bunch of melodrama and then I never got caught up again. So Melodrama Pod is, they explain this lower pH myth creature, and then after the break, they make a pitch for what they want to do with that creature. It could be a game, a script, like a movie, a series, whatever. I listened to like a few episodes of Mabel, and I never went back to it because I got distracted.
The format is not for everyone.
By season 3 of I got distracted.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy the poetry of Mabel,
so
but it's not something that's very engaging.
If you asked me what was going on in Mabel, I would not be able to answer. But
it's okay.
The way it's written is so
Unmable
nice.
to answer.
So true.
Take a second.
Sorry, that was great.
And here to rep, I listen to every episode of Elevator Pitch Pod when it comes
Oh my
out.
god.
Yeah! As have I.
It's really
good.
I think that
It's
naturally
Mhm.
will bring us into... Julian did ask, where else can we find your voice work?
Yes.
I am a voice actor on Elevator Pitch Pod, which is a new genre-hopping anthology podcast. I play Red Herring for 2 lines, and then in our second episode, I am Cowboy Milf, Harper, And in our third episodes, I play an Irish whaler, and you can let me know if my accent is good. Sound off in the comments.
Sound off the comments.
It's not.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up with that. Where else can you find my voice work? Obviously here. I've also been in a few games, but don't play them. They're bad.
Okay. Fair.
Also, you can find Jeanette's voice work on a very specific Twitter thread about a goldfish.
Stop!
And you should go listen to that thread.
I'll link it. I'll
That
link it.
is true. Oh, and I'm going to be in a short film soon.
So exciting.
Yeah, if you're listening, thank you for having me do that. Yeah, I forget exactly what it's called. Selkuth. Yeah, it's very cool and very epic. You should check it out when it comes out.
Well, most of my stuff is with these guys here,
Oh,
because
yes.
a lot of the things I've done voice acting for have not come out publicly, because a lot of them are like student films and thesis films, so they have not come out. But yeah, you just hear me on here. It's really fun. I'm always on here. And yeah, I've just done like a bunch of school-related things, so it's nothing you'd find online.
Well, most of them have been school related, but they're all public, so technically you can look them up.
And SJ will be dropping the link. No, I'm joking.
Rather not. There was.
Oh my gosh, what is the one with the Wattpad?
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say.
Yes,
Technically, this
continue.
isn't voice work. I was technically an actor in it. We did a fake trailer for
God.
this book called Shadow of the Wind called Screwed.
Screwed in holiday.
But yeah, I played the straight man in the stupid teenage comedy. And then
Sounds about right.
And naturally, this led to you being Jetsukulia.
no, it didn't. I'm also in a little documentary we did in senior year. Well, it's not really like, yeah, it's a mini documentary about like religion's like reception towards trans kids, specifically trans kids in the Philippines.
yeah.
So yeah, I did most of the research, most of the writing, and because I like to hoard the work. And I do a little voice in there.
In short, you can look them both up online. You can't find me because maybe I don't exist.
I can probably link them
Sure.
both because they are technically public property.
Oh yeah.
I do have a YouTube channel and I do video essays.
Esther does very good video essays.
I don't know.
Very
about
There's
good.
one on Hades Town, and there's one on
Which
the music of the
also
Penumbra.
features my voice work.
Yes, that was also in
has
there.
Jeanette in it.
But yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all of it.
Yeah.
We all have Ko-fis. This is from Sydney. This is a very good question. It's a very long one too. How did you go about adapting the episodes so that the important story beats, like Buddy locking herself with the bomb or Vespa walking out on Buddy, etc., that had to happen still feel like they're decisions made by the characters and not like a predetermined conclusion?
Well, I think that a lot of it had to do with the setup, making sure that their motivations were clear in the episodes beforehand, so that when we planted the seeds of what eventually would be the motivation for Buddy locking herself in with the bomb and respectively Vespa, walking out on Buddy, it does make sense because I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this. Esther, you should jump in.
I made a private tweet about this once, but like every time we start a new script, I actually tear apart the themes of every episode we have to do and
Yes.
make sure that it aligns with what we have. So we do adapt things that are technically still part of the canon plot. Most of them the external ones, like with Murderous Mask, you have the whole thing with like the tragedy of the Kanagawas and all that stuff. But we had to make it so we had our personal flares to it that made sense for Vespa instead of Juno. So for Vespa, there was like a very personal part of Murderous Mask to her that could not be like taken out of context. Unlike with Juno, who mostly really felt like a kinship to these twins who are being manipulated by their mom. Whoops.
Yep.
So
Whoopsie.
yeah, for Train from Nowhere and Railbird's Gamble, it was pretty much the same thing with how can Vespa end up trusting Buddy, and why doesn't Vespa trust Buddy like in the first place? With Buddy being pretty much a fucking criminal because she aided and abetted a murderer. It was hard it was hard to set it up so that Buddy became trustworthy at the end, because when it came to the end of the entire document, Vespa was really just hung up on the fact that Buddy always does these good things with good reason, but she never tells anyone else, and she wants to do it all by herself. So the trust beat of Train from Nowhere, Railbird's Gamble wasn't discovering everything about this person who I don't really know anything about who wants me to trust him. It was, I do want to trust you, but why don't you trust me? That's how it ended up there. And it's set up perfectly to final resting place for why would Vespa walk out on Buddy? Oh, right, because she still hasn't learned. And also now Vespa has a very big complex about how she's not really that altruistic in the first place. Like, why does Buddy like her in the first place, you know?
Exactly. And you have that, it's miscommunication of sorts, where you have Vespa thinks that she's not good enough to be with Buddy because she is selfish. Or is she? Well, we'll see. But Buddy thinks that she is not good enough for Vespa because she's like, oh my god, I want to deserve the effort that Vespa is placing in me that she doesn't place anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know?
they're just turning the wheel around. It just goes round and round.
Yeah. It just goes round and round, and it makes for delicious drama.
Yeah. Thanks, Gab.
Thanks.
It relates to Juno too, with Buddy and her mom, and Juno with like his whole thing with Sarah about how he doesn't want to turn out like her, even though Sarah never really said anything of that sort. Buddy's mom very much did. She just really came out of the woodworks and said, you're never going to be a good enough person to be actually a hero. You know that? And Buddy's just like, no, you're fucking wrong. And she doesn't really believe that. What if she's right? Yeah, but what if she's right?
But what if she's right? But what if she's wrong?
Very contrarian.
Yes, you know, she must contradict herself at every turn and you know, resist even her own resistance and what have you.
This one's from Danny. What's it like being a part of this project? And you've answered this before, like, have you done voice acting stuff like this, though? Like Reverse AU?
I have. I've worked on things that had like a very long script and things that required me to do different voices. Like, I think the last thing I worked on, I had to send in 2 different samples of my voice pitched like low and then my voice pitched higher for them. I had to do my lines twice, so they didn't know which ones they wanted. And then, technically, well, in friend groups, I guess, I've done little script things where we read the script out loud. Like, heck, with us, we've also done that a lot. It's a lot of fun, and I don't know, I like being able to stretch my acting muscles, especially because I get to play villains, because I don't get to do that in real life, because I don't look- oh, hi, doggy! Because I don't look particularly villainous, or just
Exhibit A.
personally.
Hi, doggy.
Or just like knowing me personally, I'm generally a nice-ish person, and I get to like let out my villainous side, or like all the other sides that I don't get to play in real life.
How do you keep up the workflow if you find yourself burning out?
I don't have anything to say about that. I think it helps that we have kind of a lot of things going on at once. So if I feel like I'm not making any progress on changing a script, then at least when we were working on Final Resting Place, I could go to a different one, or I could, you know, go do some art for whatever. I constantly have a ton of projects that I'm doing at the same time, along with schoolwork and just like things that I need to do around the house. So I'm never at a loss for things to do when I get burnt out in one thing and have to do another.
Also, I think it's like really sweet because I feel like when you guys get like bored, we all try to like hype y'all back up I think it's really. Yeah, no, because, like, just retweeting the art, just be like, no, but tell us what happens more, because we do want to know.
Thank you.
And we don't get to know if we don't
You know.
anyway. For me, generally, I'm already burnt out because of school, so this is kind of like my relaxing thing. It's the opposite of something that's stressful for me.
Wow.
No, it is. It really is. Because,
Wow.
like, I get to take a break from working my drawing muscles and just trying to, like, be creative in a different way. And it's something that doesn't really burn me out. It's really fun. It's fun for me. It's like it's like I'm hanging out and playing around with my friends, which is fun.
See, the thing is...
Yeah. No, elaborate.
I like to be busy. Whenever I'm not doing anything, that's when I feel burnt out. So I have to keep doing shit in order to not feel it.
I actually think it's really funny because SJ hates not being busy and I hate being busy. But we are both always constantly doing the most.
Exactly.
Because I can't not be busy, but also I hate being busy. As I said, contradictions. But yeah, SJ's just wild like that.
Yeah, like earlier, we're recording this after the Jet Minute dropped. Literally last night I re-edited that. For context, for those who haven't listened to it, there is an original recording of it
Version.
where there's an original version of it that is more what's the word I'm looking for? It's more faithful.
It's
to...
more in line with the original.
Yeah, so instead of Nureyev, it should have been Buddy, but you know. I was like, what if we changed it out in the last minute? And then Jeanette was like, sure. And I was like, oh. And then I changed it out at the last minute and no one noticed. Not even the VAs who were a part of it until Gab. And then this morning, because Jeanette had school, I was the one set to do all of the like technicality shit. So I had to post the transcript. I had to do all of the promo. I had to do all the corporate tweeting everywhere on Instagram, on Tumblr, on Twitter. So
sorry.
No, it's fun. It's actually, I feel like I get to use all of my accounts at once. Like it doesn't feel like a waste.
It is good to keep yourself busy though, because SJ gets really antsy whenever we've finished something and are slated to post it.
Yes.
Like they literally
before premiere.
Yeah, before premiere, they just are in my DMs like, I've got the jitters,
Also
I'm blah, blah, blah,
also
blah.
in mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It'll
And I'm like, bro,
good.
it's fine.
Okay.
It's chill.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It'll be okay. No one's gonna come after you with pitchforks. It's fine.
The nerves, Captain. So.
Oh my god.
Like, just
Apologies for the state of my room.
It's the nerves.
Apologies for the state of my brain.
Literally. I get the jitters real bad before premiere. Because I don't know, I like people validating me for my work, but also I don't like when people perceive me, so So yeah.
Do you got something in your throat there?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But yeah, earlier, instead of being jittery about it all day, I went and worked on a piece that will not be coming out until in a while, actually. So that was 6 straight hours of artwork. I had to do that, or else the entire day I would have been like, holy shit, what time is it? And then it's like, there's 2 more hours, okay, calm down. From Nova, and a follow-up from Danny. How do you get so much emotion into all your performances? Do you like to draw on previous memories or feelings? It just feels so real. And from Danny, did you ever cry or get incredibly emotional at any point in the production of this season?
I'm gonna take a moment to sound like a heartless ice queen, because no, I have never cried or I've gotten emotional theoretically, but no, I was not actually crying in Final Resting Place.
He's just acting.
I didn't even fake cry with tears or anything. It was just kind of like, which probably is not what people want to hear. They probably want to hear like, no, was full force sobbing and like blah 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 blah. I feel like my background is specifically in musical theater, and in musical theater you can't cry. You can't cry while you're singing because then your singing will be disgusting and gross.
Yeah.
So I got good at sounding like I was crying.
Good.
I will say, when I get the emotion into my performance, especially with the end of Final Resting Place, I directly took cues from Sarah's performance in Heart of It All at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the way that Buddy's voice gets like high in that kind of like breathy way, and the almost like laugh crying, and the halting way that she starts and stops. And the way her accent almost like disappears. Yeah. And she just kind of sounds like a person. Wow. I took all those cues from... Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I took all those cues from Sarah Gastovich at the end of Heart of It All. Yeah. And then for Vespa, I took those from Shadows on the Ship, that kind of way that she gets really when she's like, I hope that Buddy's okay. Kind of thing. That is all from there. But no, I've never cried. I think the closest, I'm predicting it now, the closest I'm going to get to crying is going to be doing Rita. I'm not going to say why. I'm not going to say where. But Rita specifically gets me.
Well, to counter, I haven't cried while recording this, but I did get extremely emotional reading the Final Resting Place script for the live read, just because I have my own issues that we're not gonna touch on. We're not. We're just not.
We're not gonna talk about it. It's fine.
No, we're not. That's what my therapist is for. But yeah, no, like I said, when I like do the voice acting thing, because I've listened to a lot of different podcasts, and I watch a lot of media. I have like this little mental library of this is a clue about how this is like a little bit of like, this is what I think a villain voice would sound like, or like this is what I think an angry voice would sound like, and just drawing from like a variety of sources of all the things I've both experienced and consumed in a way. It's not just my experiences, because I don't like bringing that out, is that I can't put it back in. Yeah, because like, if I bring it back out, I'll just be sat there in a soup of my emotions.
Well, kinda already answered this one. Well,
yeah, in the first Q&A, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Cass straight up was just literally just me going, okay, what would Cass do?
Well, no. I feel like I remember you saying that you did tear up.
Yeah, because...
Or something,
yeah. SJ's always crying.
I am always acting.
Yeah, SJ is always crying.
SJ's the one who does do the crying.
SJ was literally crying earlier today.
Literally. Yeah, no, there's no previous memories or feelings for it. It literally just is. That's just how I read lines all the time.
Yeah. Wow, we're so boring.
No, because I mean, it's not like I have like bad memories for stuff. Most of the time when I say something disturbing, people are just like, are you okay? And I'm like, oh, was that a worrying thing to say? So, you know, the repression is at max. It's not even fun at this point.
Because you're Asian.
Thanks.
Oh my god, wow.
Asian wire. But yeah, no crying, no getting emotional, unless you act crying and act emotional. Oh, speaking of that, the gag reflex, the gag reflex that just emits from my throat when I do the choking noises from Yas.
God,
it is
classic.
It is so funny. I'm like, holy shit, I do actually sound like I'm dying.
It's good. It's really great. Oh, there was a point in when I was doing Buddy's breakdown where I did hiccup. Like, I made my throat do that weird hiccup in there because we put it in the script, and I was like, oh, I didn't think I could do that, but cool. I guess it's there. But yeah.
When we did the live read, I remember when I was like the Vespa's end monologue always like gets me. So I was when you gave me the script, I scrolled down. I was like, okay, what do I have to deal with? Because the original one is already bad enough, and I was like, well, I have to say this. I'm not just sitting here listening to it, so it's gonna be 10 times worse. I was like, okay, just keep all the emotion in, and then when you're done, then you can release.
This is from Avi, who asked, what was your favorite to do in season 1 in voice acting or scripting? And from Danny, what's your favorite episode to do this season?
I think Railbird's Gamble was my favorite to record. Because it was a lot funnier than Murderous Mask, and also it just had a little bit of everything. It had the emotions, it had the humor, it had the flirting, it had everything.
Like, just like Train from Nowhere, but in a different way.
Train from Nowhere, but suffix.
And I do think that writing Railbird's Gamble was probably my favorite this season too.
I can't speak to the writing aspect of this because the only time I get asked is SJ goes, "Is this thing painful?" And I say yes, and then SJ says, "Okay, great,
thanks."
And then it gets used against you.
And then it gets used against me, so I'm dreading time gone by.
Yep.
I guess I have the same answer in that Railbird's Gamble was really fun. It's fun to be evil. And it's fun to and it's really fun to play off Jeanette.
Yeah.
The ping pong back scene. It's very fun.
Yeah, that was a really good. I enjoyed that. 2 bitches. So true.
It's very
this is
fun.
animatic for it. Just thinking about it.
Oh my gosh, yes. Thinking about it.
Yes.
Love you, Stas. That was so good.
Love you, Stas.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, did enjoy doing Cecil's lines.
You like being a tropical fruit.
I am a tropical fruit. It was very easy. Jeanette makes fun of me for this all the time. Cecil has no bloopers. Absolutely none. But my favorite episode, well, editing-wise, it probably would have been Final Resting Place. All of those transitions.
Ugh, they
amazing.
came together so well.
Okay. This is a writing thing. It's not gonna come in. like I said, the process of it is literally just me writing down all the themes and trying to match it per the character writing. And it didn't work if we did a faithful adaptation of Final Resting Place. So I was like, okay, how can I change this up? Because the gimmick of Final Resting Place is that they made you think that it was gonna be the final episode. The whole concierge bit was just okay, this might be our last one, guys.
We got rid of that.
There,
yeah, we got rid of it.
Lose the old Juno Steel forever or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the entire episode was in present tense, so that you would think that Juno's not really telling this back. He's probably going to die in this episode. And he died inside, but we already knew that.
Yeah.
So we couldn't really just take that for Vespa, because Vespa's not suicidal. So she literally is just all self-preservation all the time. That's why she's just I'm selfish, because I self-preserve.
Literally
all the
queen.
time. We couldn't really make it out she was going to die by the end of it, so it was in past tense, and I was like, okay, so we know we know they're not gonna die in there, so we can change around the chronology of the shit. And that's how it ended up a lot shorter than the actual episode. Sadly. It's 41 minutes, and the original is 47. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
really
good job. Good job cutting it down.
That was it was one of the most extensive cuts and changes we've made to an episode so far. Oh, just wait. Oh, just you guys wait.
Joy upon joys.
It's not the episode you think.
I know what episode you're talking about.
Yep. But yeah, that was my favorite bit of the season. The evil one.
Yeah, it's the evil one.
Okay, here's an origin question. How did this project come to be in the first place, from Abi?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, the first thing that we ever read was...
Meaningless.
from Man in Glass, we were just like messing around on voice call really late at night or early in the morning, however you like to view that. And we just like read through it. We just looked at the original script and changed it like in our heads, you know, just kind of like reading it out. And we were like, wait.
Yeah.
Actually, this could kind of be really sick, maybe.
And then we read like the end bit of Final Resting Place.
Yeah.
Which
and
does
Murderous
come back.
Mask,
Okay.
I think.
This'll all like crop up again, so I'll just get it out of the way because Stess asked if there were any scenes in Rail Racing Gamble or Final Resting Place that had to be scrapped or the what ifs and ideas. I'm mostly like pulling from the what ifs on this one. We weren't going to not make Vespa walk out on Buddy. She was going to do it. It came in from the start because
Yeah.
like this was my first introduction to Vespa. I listened to Shadows on the Ship for the first time, and on that same call, that same night for Jeanette, we conceptualized the idea of reverse AU. So from the start, Vespa was going to walk out on her. So 3M was made in mind. Like we really put the season there just so we could pay it off by the time we got to Final Resting Place. Were there any scenes in Railbirds Gamble or Final Resting Place that had to be scrapped, or what ifs and ideas that were dropped because the episodes would have gone in a completely different direction? Kind of answered this. I figured you guys decided early on that Vespa wouldn't stay, but if there was ever a chance. Thank you, Stess. I love that.
I did want to say the one thing that we cut from Final Resting Place that I really enjoyed says we actually had a cameo for you. We originally had extended the Vespa and Sam hospital scene to give a little context, a little more context to Midnight Fox.
Yeah.
As well as why Vespa like knows Sam and why they went to that medical center.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, as you know from the episode, is one of Vespa's old classmates.
Mm-hmm.
And originally we had this bit in there where Stez had made a group chat for a class reunion because they were all classmates. And Vespa didn't respond because, you know, that's how Vespa is.
I can't believe you wrote Stez getting ghosted by Vespa.
Yeah, we did.
Vespa left Stess on red.
Yes, Vespa did. Granted, it was a very large group chat. I would also do the same. Sorry, Stess. But one of the fun bits that I really liked about it is that the reason why Sam knew that Vespa was ghosting them and not just, you know, like being Vespa is because she was broadcast at Ingrid Lake's party, during Midnight Fox. And it was just a really fun detail that I wish we could have kept in, but it was a little out of place.
Yeah, it didn't fit the scene.
One day we will find a way to put Stess.
Oh no, Stess is going to be in. Like, that's a promise.
Yeah. This is a threat.
That's a threat, yeah.
No, it's a threat. Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
Well, kind of already answered Julian's question of what our favorite parts from the latest episode was. Technically not, because it's gonna be Jet Minute. So, what's the favorite part from Jet Minute, guys?
Oh, let's answer Jet Minute.
Okay. My favorite part in Jet Minute is when Jet goes Jet in. I saw that in the script. It killed me, and then Taz delivered it, and I couldn't laugh either, because I had the next line. So when I heard it in the episode, I was just dying. It's such a Jet line that makes sense, but it's the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
Funny.
Before Jeanette says anything, for context, unlike most of our episodes, Jet Minute was recorded live on call, and I just edited in all of the sound effects and all of the like ambiance and like the voice, like the over stuff. Rita definitely wasn't part of the live recording. It was originally Buddy.
Okay, I have two. I guess they're connected because I love the running joke of Jet and Vespa not understanding what April Fool's is. So I love Sasha's realization, quote unquote, that it's like a prank. And when she's like, I will not be made a fool of, April or otherwise. I think is so funny. And then SJ's little Agent W, we have a situation. And she's like, shut up. And then in that same vein, when Cass is like, what is this, an April Fool's joke? And then she goes, all right, okay. You want me to give you some wisdom? And Jenna's like, yes, please. I would very much like you to give me some wisdom. And she just like that.
Yep, the thread between all of our exes
are just being
so good.
Sincere.
Yeah.
Just being sincere.
He's just like, do you want to go to her birthday party? They're like, fuck you.
It is okay if you are late, as long as you bring yourself and also snacks.
That one got Jeanette for some reason.
Because it's like, it was just phrased.
And
so
I think it goes without saying we all love it when Taz does the haha.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Gets me every time.
That's the universal. Whenever that happens, it's like I feel like we all die.
Yes, it's so good. Taz, my king.
Your favorite part. What is your favorite part?
I guess my favorite part was like changing out what the gift was going to be. Well, technically now it wasn't technically a gift, because Buddy didn't really bring it to her, Rita did it. It was in Buddy's
thing.
It
was supposed to be for Vespa anyway.
Yeah, she already made the note and everything. It makes you think that Buddy already like bought it like before they even met up. In like in Railbird's Gamble.
I'm sorry.
Is going to go through it, and then she just comes back and is like, "Where are the earrings?"
That just makes Man in Glass so much funnier. I'm sorry. Like, imagine you meet this girl once and you're already so down bad that you buy her a pair of earrings for her birthday. That she didn't tell you. You had to look up her birthday yourself.
Yeah, but
and
Jeans,
keep them with
also...
a note, with a kiss on the note. What?
Jeans, that's exactly what happened with Nureyev.
Exactly.
I mean, yes, but
they're
it's
just
not
like that.
They are just like that, but at least with Nureyev, like, he ordered fresh flowers. Like, Buddy had those earrings for an indeterminate amount of time.
Nureyev showed up at Rita's
Nureyev. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Also, there's the thing of Nureyev went, here's our aliases, and by the way, we're married.
So, yeah. By the way, we are married. Yeah, that's fair.
Here's a suit.
God.
Here's a suit.
I know your exact measurements.
Don't question.
Exactly.
But yeah,
I don't know. Maybe Buddy bought it with the costume in Railbird's Gamble, and she was like, no, it doesn't match. And then she just left it out, and she was like, oh,
like,
maybe a birthday gift.
Maybe.
Like,
I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't
it's
justify
a step too far.
Yeah. I don't want to justify it. I feel like she's that ridiculous. Oh, and I just thought of another favorite bit. Just the way, I guess this is like tooting my own horn, but the jet that I totally didn't the way I delivered the Rita line is really funny to me. Where she's like, oh, I know you because you're famous. I didn't watch any streams about you or anything. Okay, bye.
Bye.
It's so funny.
But
also, I just really like the Jet Mitt friendship. Sorry, keep going.
So true.
I hold it close to my heart.
For acting, this is from Taz. This is something I asked you before. How do you feel about Valencia's dynamics with VesBud? And was it fun for you to explore that in your performance? Ooh.
Such a good question, Taz.
Honestly.
It's so funny because I know Valencia's lines forward and backward for both the original and Railbird's Gamble, because fun fact, the way I got involved with this is I was like goofing around and being like, here, I like Train from Nowhere, I tried out the Valencia voice and I sent it into another server, and then Jeanette and Essay were like, alright, so do you mind doing that for this thing we're doing? And I said, okay, why not? Yeah, that was the start of it all. And just Valencia's dynamic of VesBud is really different from the way it is with Jupiter, because it's a lot it's a different kind of snarkiness that like occupies a different part of my brain. Like if I had played Valencia with Jupiter, it would definitely have sounded different to the not too different, but like the way I would have thought about it would have been very different to the way I thought about it with Vespa. Because in my life, the way I've interacted with people who are like two different ways of interacting with people, it's just it occupies just like a weird pathway in my brain where the beats are different, the kind of like way you respond to each other is different.
Yeah.
It's a lot more catty when it's with Buddy and Vespa versus when it's with Juno and Peter.
The funny thing is, she was expecting Vespa to answer, and then when Buddy answered, she was like, "Oh, well, Ro."
A bitch off.
Oh, well, I've been waiting for
what you
this
want.
one. Are we ever going to open up voice acting applications? So, you know, we need more voices for future roles because we are literally a 4-man band. Or do we have them sorted out?
Yeah, I can answer this one as the recording engineer and vocal director, if you will. I don't think we are going to open up applications for the time being. Maybe for, like, one-off extra lines, but don't hold me to that. Don't quote me on that. Just because it's already difficult enough as it is, getting everybody's recordings and splicing them all together. It would just be a lot more moving parts if we had more people to hound for voice lines. Not that I don't think that everyone in the Reverse AU server is talented and wonderful and could totally do it. That is why we have our live reads, so that everybody kind of has a chance to participate and have a recording of, like, being in the thick of Reverse AU and getting to act their little hearts out and, you know, do their little thing. You know, when the live reads come around for the next few episodes of the season, like, definitely whoever wants to take a big, like, main part, be my guest. Like, just do it. Okay, Lumiere. Don't think we're gonna open up VA applications, at least not for any of the, like, main cast. Yeah, for the second season and the main cast, just because we pretty much have everybody sorted out. There could be some stuff in the future, but you'll know when you know.
Yeah.
Please, if you really want to have, like, a voice acting opportunity, please volunteer for the live reads and come to the live reads, because we really love hearing everybody's different interpretations on things. Yes. I remember we had... Did we actually have Tex and Min for Murderous Mask? Yes, we had Tex and Min.
You did.
And then Nova was an amazing miasma, and I think also... Peter Morgan James was miasma in TNA, which was also really awesome.
Danny was Vespa for a lot of it.
Danny was Vespa, which was also really fun, and of course we had Gab as Vespa. So, whoever wants to join, just when we announce the live read, shoot your shot. It's really first come first serve. So
it's also like it's really fun. There's no pressure. It sounds scary. But it's really fun.
It's really no holds barred. Just whatever you want to do, like, just go crazy with it. So
if you guys want to do, like, a podfic for any of the fic only content that we're not doing episodes for, like Phoenix of Soul, we were planning on it, I promise, but, like, it was not.
It wasn't in the cards.
Yeah, it wasn't in the stars, bro. If you guys want to do any of, like, the fic only content, that's totally fine. Just show us what you guys got. That would be so cool, honestly. I would start crying. That would actually be
really awesome. Do not be afraid to just, like, even if you record a scene with your friends or, you know, like, make your own animatic with the scripts. That would be really cool. You know, whatever. We love to see it. We love to hear it. Just everything warms my little Grinch heart and makes it grow 3 sizes. But yeah, there actually will be new I guess I'm gonna announce this even though you were working on it, SJ. There is going to be new fic only content coming out in our pre-season 2 hiatus. So if you're interested in that, it's kind of like a series of vignettes. That's all I'll say. So it'll be pretty easy and manageable if you want to do a pod pickup. But
disgusting. That's all I'll say.
Yes, absolutely revolting.
Okay.
But
we got one last final question from Buttons, and then our final question from Alina. We are saving you for last, Alina.
Yes, mwah.
What is the most challenging thing for you to do when readapting? Could be a general part of the process, a repeated pattern, one particular scene, or anything. And how did you overcome it? Well, the thing with Final Resting Places, and that's why it's like one of my favorite episodes of this season, is that we did not know how to proceed with it for so long. I mean, we were working on Raybirds Gamble for so long already because Jeanette was busy with school, I was busy with school, and then I freed up by the time Final Resting Place was finally slated to be written. And I had no idea where to proceed with it because Jeanette was busy, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll solve this problem while Jeanette is gone so that when Jeanette comes back, we can just start writing again. That was when I started doing the whole, like, process of breaking down what the scripts are doing and, like, trying to see if I can readapt it to a version that could be more favorable for us. Though the harder parts are becoming a lot easier now. All I'll say is Time Gone By was written in 5 days.
Yeah, which is like, it was like we were both on crack, cocaine, if you will, because like SJ was doing writing sprints like every single day, and I would come on and like, I'm not really big on sitting down and writing a huge amount. Like, I'll come in and I'll do my edits, but I was also like writing big chunks of stuff, even for, you know, characters that I don't usually write for, which was scary. And just like the sheer speed at which we managed to get that done still like boggles my mind, and I fear for when we get to season 3. Because I know that like some of it is gonna come to me way too easily, and those are gonna be done like, because most of season 3 has been plotted out already, so it's just a matter of like writing it.
We've been so excited for like the carte blanche stuff that it felt like fucking finally breathing when we got to
felt like coming home. Literally,
no.
bro.
It was so good. And I finally got to spread my wings and talk about the season 2 that is not happening, but is also kind of happening because the next fic that's about to come out. Though one of the hardest parts for this season, though, I guess technically, is because we were basically just fumbling for the bit because we did not know what we were doing. We cycled in and out of betas and like editors and stuff. The process of like recording lines and missing lines sometimes, and also like,
oh my god,
Audacity failing on me.
And my entire audio getting corrupted.
Exactly. So it just
now not pressing record on Audacity.
Oh man. Now Gab knows how to record stuff. That's great.
I'm so proud of you.
I know how.
So by season 2, we kind of already have a foothold in how we're supposed to be doing all of this stuff. I mean, I'm not saying you guys should expect like faster outcomes for this.
No, we're not out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, I'm just saying
still college students.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a lot easier for us to do now. A different hurdle now is gonna be
Oh,
splicing for recording this into one thing.
Yeah.
And fight scenes, disgusting.
Right.
Don't remind me. It was already bad in it, though. I do feel like they're gonna be, knock on wood, I do feel like they're gonna be better this time around. Because Murderous Mask, I was really just like, I'm yelling. But I think I really grew into my ability to perform, like, getting hurt and stuff with Final Resting Place.
Now you also have kissing sounds.
We also have kissing sounds.
Amazing.
I still don't know if those were any good. Nobody ever told me.
No one
so-
ever said anything. I think
Nope.
Sound off in the comments.
sound off
Yeah.
the comments.
I still actually have to ask Val if she's listened to them because I remember specifically telling her I put the kissing noises in for you, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! I love kissing noises!" And I was like, "Okay," except she did it in her little Russian accent because that's how
Oh
I
my
read
God.
Val's in my head.
That's so
I
cute.
know.
In terms of overcoming it, it's literally just doing it. Literally, just fucking
Yeah.
go through with it and get through. Like, all of, like, Railbird's Gamble's fucking, like, ranked street poker shit. We had to push through it and finish it, and by the end of it, it was actually kind of enjoyable.
To quote the eternal Shia LaBeouf, "Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Just do it.
Just do it." Yeah.
Will there ever be a Reverse AU playlist so that we can have our hearts shattered while jamming to some tunes?
I love the way this question was phrased, first of all. And luckily for you, there's been one this entire time.
Yep. It's been under
Those
your
of you who
noses.
follow me on Spotify, at Enterfire, come check me out, will know I made a Reverse AU playlist back when Railbird's Gamble was in production. And actually, to wrap up the end of this Q&A, we will be releasing, or should I say I will be releasing, a special bonus content video in which I analyze a few of the songs from the playlist and say, like, why they're there and, you know, what the lyrics mean and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So, but if you want to give a listen to the playlist beforehand to study up, we'll put it in the episode description.
And
That's gonna be fun.
yeah, that's. Oh, I do have an announcement. We do. Have
Oh
an
yes, drum
announcement.
roll.
So, this whole time we've been calling it Time Gone By. Here's our title drop.
No.
It will be, I'm not gonna be spoiling anything for it. It's probably, like, no one's probably gonna be able to tell what it's from. If anyone does, sound off in the comments. Put it in the theories.
I'll be very impressed.
Yeah, put it in the theories, channel, in the server. Title is Vespa Ilke and the Sudden Dawn. Thank you. So that was our season finale Q&A.
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to give special thanks to Gab for being here with us for this Q&A. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for sending in your wonderful questions and following along with the series.
Yay.
Yay!
Thank you, Buttons.
And thanks, as always, to Buttons and also to Harley Takagi Kaner and Kevin Piper.
Kevin Piper.
Yes.
Yay.
All right.
Right.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye.